Hi, my name is Charlie Phillips, and I'm the Operations Manager here at New Horizons, and one of the many resources that you have available to you as a student. Once you're done working with your educational consultant, who is the person responsible for the application process, finding funding for you, and making sure that you are set up with the appropriate program, you'll meet with me and I will help you through the rest of the process, making sure we get you through your certifications, make sure we get you educated, and then eventually get you over to Ted, who is our placement director, to talk about employment and resume and how to approach that end of your learning here at New Horizons. Now you may be asking yourself, why work with me? Well, I've been with New Horizons for quite a while, been here for 10 years, and I've seen a lot of students come and go, a lot of successful students and some unsuccessful students. And I at least like to think I know the difference between what it takes both on your end and on our end as a learning center to make sure that you're most successful. Now, I've been through a lot of the programs myself. I'm A+ certified, Network Plus certified, an MCDST, which is a desktop support technician, a Microsoft certified systems administrator, and a technology specialist for Windows Vista. In addition to that, I did a graduate degree program through the University of Florida while I was here working at New Horizons. Now, I say that just so you know that I understand what goes into these programs and these certifications. In addition, I know what it's like to have a job or a family or whatever else it is you do outside of work or outside of school that can conflict with your learning. My job in a nutshell is to make sure that you don't have any obstacles in your way. How we go about learning, we have a number of different ways that you can learn. We have instructor-led training. We have mentored learning, which is a combination of computer-based training and one-on-one instructor-led training. And we also have online training that's available to you. And you as a student can use any and all of those resources in order to help become educated and become test ready. Along with that, we have tools like practice exams, certification exam vouchers that are included in most of our programs. And there's really just a general framework and best practices that you need to understand as we go through the process to make sure we're learning effectively and doing the things that we need to do to make sure you are educated and certified. A lot of things can happen. Life happens, so I help work around those. We can change your schedule around. We can make adjustments for you as a student in case you're a student who learns faster or slower. We can work around difficult schedules. We can, if we need to put your program on hold and pick it back up a little later, we can do that. If you move, we have ways to work around that as well. Thus far, in 10 years, I have yet to encounter a situation that we have not been able to make work one way or another. So again, as things happen in life, communicate with me and we will make sure that we still are making progress toward our goals of education, certification, and employment. From my experience in having gone through a number of the certifications here at New Horizons, as well as my traditional education, I really understand some of the difficulties that a student can be faced with. Whether it be working, whether it be your day-to-day schedule, whether it be family, I make sure that we pull on our end, and hopefully you're pushing yourself on your end and have some support from family or friends to help get you through this process. Students have very different expectations when they walk in the door at New Horizons. A lot of them may have prior experience, some may not. Students have very different aptitudes, different schedules, different amounts of time that you have to dedicate to your training. I will help you work around some of those obstacles, make sure you're using your time most effectively, and give you a framework to work within that I've developed from the most successful students at New Horizons. We'll use the different tools. We will make sure that we follow up on those tools like practice exams to identify your weak areas and fill in those gaps so we can prepare for certification. You as a student have a lot of resources here at New Horizons. The students who tend to be most successful are the students who are most engaged, the students who are using those tools and using the resources and engaged with the people here at New Horizons. The more engaged a student is, the faster they achieve their certifications, the more in-depth they understand the material, and the more they can apply that in their day-to-day work. Upon enrolling in New Horizons, each student comes in a different situation. Each student comes in with different expectations. For the most part, students don't understand how much work goes into the certifications. It's a large commitment in time and effort, and that's one reason that you'll work with me through the process. One of the first things that we'll need to do is sit down for an orientation meeting. The meeting takes about 45 minutes to an hour, and we'll cover your program and all the resources that are available to you. You'll leave that meeting with a student survival guide. That student survival guide is your first resource for answering questions. There's a lot of material in there. My goal at the end of the meeting is just to have exposed you to all the different tools and resources that we have available and use that to help you understand what steps to take. Students who really take that survival guide to heart and follow it tend to be the most successful students. We need to make sure that you as a student really understand the tools that are available and how to use those tools. Over 10 years, I've seen a lot of students come through New Horizons. We've developed procedures and steps to ensure that you can be successful. I have a lot of students who have taken that to heart, and you can see it in their performance. They really get through their coursework quickly. They understand the material. They're able to identify the areas that they need to work on, get those gaps filled in, and get certified. A lot of you may not have done education in quite a while. Some of you may be new to this type of educational process. In fact, most of you are. I'll work with each of you to help you identify when you're ready for the actual certification exam. Some of you will be really eager to get into the booth and take the exam. Some before you may actually be ready. Some of you are going to study forever and are going to need to be coerced to get into the exam room. That's one of the things that I'll help you identify. Help you identify your weak areas, how to fill those in, and what tools need to be used to fill in those education gaps, and make sure that you're ready for the certification exam. For others, I may have to let you know you're not quite ready. Let's get you with our mentor. Let's have you go through a practice exam. Let's have you repeat classes. Whatever we need to do to ensure that you're ready to get into the testing booth to make sure that you're successful. You do have the ability to retake the exams as many times as needed in order to be certified and pass the exam. Having said that, within your program, you get one certification exam voucher for each exam. Now there's some things we can do to adjust and work around a failed exam, but eventually the cost of that failed exam will come out of pocket. We need to make sure that you're successful in the exam booth the first time through. I'll help you along that path to make sure we're doing what you need to be doing to ensure you're successful. Most of you will be new to our online live learning. Everybody's done traditional education, sitting in a classroom with a teacher in front of them, lecturing, walking you through activities. Our online live learning is just a little different. It's still instructor-led training, it's still interactive, it's still lecture, and then having the instructor walk you through activities, helping you troubleshoot, being engaged along the way. The only difference really is that we're doing it online. This gives you the option of taking classes either here in our mentor learning classroom, or from work, or from home. It offers us a lot of flexibility. Students can have difficulties with vehicles, with travel time, and just family, things that get in the way of making it to class every night. Online live learning allows us the opportunity and flexibility to take those classes from anywhere. It still offers us the same interactive learning as traditional instructor-led training. It's very important to us that the students stay engaged. The more engaged you are as a student, the better we can gauge your progress, understand where you are, understand what gaps need to be filled in order to get you ready for certification. Our online live learning helps us do all of that. With our online live learning, and really in general throughout your program, you have virtual machines available to you that are pre-set up for the tasks that you need to complete to make sure you understand the material. These are called on-demand labs. On-demand labs we use during our instructor-led training, we use them in mentored learning, and you're welcome to use them at home to make sure that you have every opportunity for hands-on experience with the software. You don't need to buy the software. The virtual machines are pre-configured with different operating systems, whether it be the client operating system like Windows 7 or the server operating system like Server 2008 R2. These are all available to you, available 24 hours a day in order for you to go get hands-on experience and repeat that as often as you like.